What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? You know what time it is. You either get right or you get left. Let's go ahead and get this thing right. A lot of moves have been made. We're doing a quick pop-up show. And also, we're going to open this thing up to all the fans that want to get online and actually talk a little something with us. We got you covered. Let's get to it.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? You either get right or you get left. You got right, so hit that like and subscribe button on the way in. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link also in the chat. We got a few things we got to talk about today. The first thing that I'm going to talk a little bit about, Tyler Algier is no longer a Falcon, ladies and gentlemen. We knew it was coming. We just hoped that we would have actually tried to make a move to bring him in and not only just keep him here, but you wanted to keep him here to keep that balance going with the Falcons offense. But at this point in juncture, it's ridiculous. So I'm looking at it from a standpoint of it's business is business. Now, the question is, how are we actually going to put this thing together when it comes to us? And that is what I'm looking at right now. What are we going to do? Now that they've made some moves today, you got your Jahan Dotsons coming in. Big talk about Tua coming into the building. Big talk. But all you can do is just sit back and let it play out. I know it's a lot of people that's pissed off right now. A lot of folks didn't want him. I'm not going to lie. I question some things, but at the same time, you have to understand, we don't have much. That's all I can say. We don't have much right now to go off of financially. Next year, you're going to have $100 million and 7 picks. Right now, you're looking at possibly $43 million that you're going to have. You're not going to make a splash with that. Let's just be real, folks. You are not going to make a splash with that. And the more and more you sit back and you think about it, you also look at the fact that it's just amazing that there are many people right now that don't understand this. Tua is not going to be the franchise quarterback. I can already tell you that. Tua is not going to be your franchise quarterback. That is actually going to be Michael Penix Jr. Y'all still have to understand, Arthur Blank was very clear and concise about what he wanted. He's already said what he wanted. And when you look at what he said, what he wanted, and yeah, I took the screen down, closed the door a little bit so it could be a little quieter. But let's be honest, when you look at what Arthur Blank has talked about, ladies and gentlemen, it's one of these things where you got to sit back and you just have to just let this play out, because this is a whole new regime. They're already making splashes. Let's be real. The main thing that I harped on last year was special teams. You got a punter that is one of the top in the league that they just got from Miami. And then you get Nick Folk, who is a consistent kicker that has over 85% in his career. He's hit 400 and I think it was 30 some odd things. What's up, GA Texas boy? Man, you love saying the new era is here. It ain't nothing new right now. There's nothing new. It's the same damn thing right now. I'm just messing with you. What's going on, man? Long time no see. I know you've been doing your thing over there on some other podcasts or whatnot. Definitely appreciate you stopping through, my guy. And we also got my man from Puerto Rico, Mike. He's out there in the Boricuas getting it in. But let's just be real, man. When you sit back and you look at everything that's going down with the Falcons right now, you really have to realize this, and I'm going to say it again. You have to understand, even if we make cuts, restructure contracts, at the most, we will have around $43 million, if that. Next year, we're going to have 7 draft picks and over $100 million in cap space. That is when you make a splash. You don't make a splash on credit when you don't have any money. You got to make a splash when everything is here. That is what you have to do. But I can't tell people how to fan. I understand people are going to be upset. I understand people are not going to like it. And that's fair. That is fair. Now, here's the other thing. Natron Brooks got extended pretty much this year. And the crazy part about the whole thing is this. The more and more you look at it, they're bringing in pieces that are veterans that it's only going to be a 1-year deal. Just a 1-year deal. And when you look at the 1-year deal with the Falcons right now, it helps us financially, period. It helps financially. And I'm looking at the fact that Cunningham's not trying to give up any picks. He's already said that. He's not trying to give up any picks. He's not trying to put himself in harm's way. And I get it. He's shopping at Dollar General. I'm not even going to say Dollar General. I'm not even going to say he's at Dollar General. Ian Cunningham at this point right now, he's shopping at Big Lots. He's shopping at Big Lots. I'm going to give him an upgrade over that. He's shopping at Big Lots. That's what I'm going to say. But next season, you go to IKEA. You get to go to Neiman Marcus. You get to eat at Fogo chains. You get to eat at many different places, and you got money to start pulling stuff in. I hate to say it. Terry Fontenot left us in a bad spot. I don't want to talk bad about the man, but let's be real. He put us in a bad spot. And the crazy thing is, and it's crazy when you sit back and you look at it, and all you can do is smile. All you can do is smile. And I love the fact that we have a conscious owner. I'm sorry, not even a conscious owner, a conscious general manager who already says he likes picks. So in other words, with them bringing in Jahan Dotson, with what we have in the receiver room, and you just brought in an edge from Cleveland or whatnot. The gentleman's name is Cameron Thomas. I'm going to pull up some footage on him in a little bit, and I'll give you this. They're letting you know that they're possibly going to get another wide receiver in this draft. They're not just, and they also brought back an old friend of ours that left and went to Philadelphia. And all you can do is just sit back and smile at this point, because now you're bringing in guys that are bringing in depth. Olamide Zaccheaus is a depth player. He's not a starter. He can make some plays here and there, but he's going to be a depth piece. And when you look at depth pieces at this point, the wide receiver room needs that. If you're not going to play Chris Blair, you've gotten rid of Nick Nash, you have to have some consistency. David Sills is there, unless he's been gone. And then, you look at what's in that room. You're bringing in Dotson, who was a starter in Washington, who pretty much got a lot of rotation in Philadelphia, even when he was traded from Washington to Philly, and he brings that experience. He's won a championship. He came in the middle of the season and literally was with them through that. So what I'm saying is, I'm seeing what Ian Cunningham is doing. He's pretty much giving us a team that can just that can just be competitive right now. This is not a team that you're going to win a championship with this year. Now, if we do well, I'm good with it. But at the same time, you have to be realistic about this, folks. This is one of those situations where all you can do is just smile. This is all you can do. So I just dropped the chat. I just dropped the link in the chat. You want to come in? Come in. Let's talk about it. It's wide open right now. I'm gonna make this a pop-up show. Some of my guys will probably end up coming through here, but we want to make sure that we also are fair to the situation. And we want to hear what you have to say. Want to hear what the fans have to say, because at the end of the day, a lot of us content creators are going to be putting out content left and right. And it's not going to have many, and we're not going to have many opportunities unless it's before training camp, where they're going to have too many segments where fans come in at. What we want to do here in the Birdcage is continue to give fans an opportunity to have a voice to speak. I might disagree with some of the things you say, but the thing is, I'm going to give you an opportunity to express it. I might agree with you on a lot of the stuff you say, but the thing is, we want you to have a voice. You know, originally, like I said, like we saying, hey, you either get right or you get left, but we also still stick by the code of a show for the people, by the people, made up by people's opinions. That's the reason why we still here. We haven't deviated from that. That's the reason we have the benediction. That's the reason we have the party line. That's the reason we have pop-up shows when we want to invite folks in, because we want to hear your side of the story. Because guess what? We as fans get left out a lot of the time because we're not in the big media. We're not in the mainstream. We're people that just pay for our tickets. We're either in club seats or in the nosebleed seats. We're buying paraphernalia. But at the same time, you still want to make sure that the fans are heard. So I just dropped the link in the chat. I'm going to drop it over in Twitter as well, better known as X, ladies and gentlemen, because at the end of the day, the best thing that you can do for this ball club right now is really understand that they're just trying to fill depth pieces, and they're giving guys a chance to come here and have an opportunity. Yes, we're going to have some Cleveland Brown. Yes, we're going to have some former Cleveland Brown players here, as you can see. Yes, we're going to have guys possibly from Chicago, as you just saw, that we just brought somebody else in. We just brought back Austin Hooper as well. Austin Hooper's played in 2 Super Bowls and have lost both of them. He was on the 2016 team, and he also was on that New England team that just lost. But he also has a little bit of knowledge of Kevin Stefanski's offense. So what's going on? What's going on, Wallace? Appreciate you coming through. Definitely my guy. But here's the other thing, and I'm going to answer my man GA Texas boy question. I mean, 12 personnel with Pitts and Hooper, that actually is a situation that could possibly work out depending on how they work it. Because here's the thing. Don't think that Pitts is not above being traded at this point either. Just because he has the franchise tag doesn't mean he's going to be here. So, again, we need to let everything play out before we start having all of the imagination about what's going to happen with these guys. Because here, we're seeing players shipped off everywhere. Guarantee you, if it's a deal that can be done and it benefits the Falcons, Ian is about that logo. He doesn't care about the loyalty to a player. I hope y'all understand that. So, again, we have a new regime in here. Nobody's job is safe. Man, so Dotson's going to probably end up being a 3. We're going to probably end up drafting our 2. Dotson is going to be a 3. So, normally I don't drink on screen, don't like to. And it's nothing but sparkling water, ladies and gentlemen. But for some Falcon fans, a shot of gin or a shot of gunpowder might be the tonic for you today, because some people just don't understand the business side. And the one thing that we'll say about this, a lot of people are pissed about Tua. There's a strong possibility that we get Tua. Now, they're not looking at Murray. Murray actually is going to go elsewhere. He's not going to even be, and he's pretty much going to be out of our price range. We're not even going to worry about him. But as for Tua is the option. $1.3 million. Miami is still going to benefit. He's still going to benefit from Miami. So he's still paying. So Miami's still going to pay for him. We would get him a deal like Denver got Russell Wilson at that point. Hey, man, let me go ahead and welcome my guy back to the spot. We got my man Nando in the building today.
Hey, what's good, BirdCage? What's good?
I shouldn't even said your name because you was in the shadows. Boy, I thought you was in witness protection.
Yeah, just low key, just trying to make it happen, but peeping out these moves what Ian is making today. Like I said, I call the Dollar General. He more at the Roses or the Hobby Lobby or the big lots, like you said, but he just makes some things happen. I'm liking how he filling out this roster, man. I'm liking what I'm seeing.
And the thing that a lot of people don't want to talk about and they don't really want to realize is this. There's no loyalty with this team. Understand this, with this new regime, there's no such thing as loyalty to a player. They're letting you know that everybody's job is on the line. Whether you're a high-priced veteran, because guess what? We saw Ian trade away guys in Chicago that was high-priced guys. You don't think that he won't trade away a Pitts, an AJ Terrell? Not saying it will happen. Let me make sure I clarify that because you know how it's going to be. The historian said they're going to trade these people away. No, you have to understand this. Business is business. And the type of the type of general manager that we have, he came from two general managers that are business oriented and they are loyal to that logo and saving $1.
Hey,
that is
Ryan,
what it is.
I'm gonna say, Ryan, I'm standing on this one though. I think he's gonna trade Jesse Bates because his replacement is there.
But
and that's draft capital you're looking at right there on the roster.
But we don't even know how Bowman's gonna be when he comes back. I think he keeps Bates for a while, just till Bowman gets his back up on. I don't think they get rid of him yet because you still got to let Billy Bowman get into the swing of things because you're talking about a guy that tore his Achilles. And as a defensive back, former defensive back, your legs and that right there is critical for you, changing direction, backpedaling, and doing everything else. We got to make sure he's strong up here before we push the veteran out the door. You can't leave yourself in a situation where he might not be ready. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Can't leave the young cat in that spot. We know what the Thundercat brings. That's what I call him. Billy, everybody call him Billy Badass. I call him the Thundercat because he's young and he brings thunder when he come up. He's an enforcer. So, and he can cover. So when you look at it, you don't want to put him out there prematurely when you already have a good thing going with Bates and Watts right now. Let them play. Let him get 100% before you ship off Bates because we know Bates is going to be gone eventually.
Yeah, I'll say by the trade deadline then. He won't be on this roster by time before at least next season. He won't be on this roster.
Yep, I'm with you on this, Wallace. A lot of people keep trying to rush Michael Penix back. Look, no, I'm not the biggest fan of Tua at all. I got my personal feelings for that. Bastard cost me a national championship. Oh, I could. Y'all forgive me. That came out. See that?
Yeah, go on, fill the jar. You get the jar ready.
I'm sorry. Mama, you watching, I'm sorry. Normally I don't say stuff like that. But that's that Georgia. That's that Bulldog fan coming up out of me right there. I have to be able to separate the two.
He was one of those that night, wasn't he, Ryan?
Son of a gun came off the bench. Son of a gun came off the bench. Cold as ice. Cold as it. Listen, he came off the bench as cold as a corpse and lit everybody up. I'm still mad about that.
I still don't know how he did it.
I do. We got comfortable. And he said, well, I got something for y'all.
I mean, y'all ain't never had no tape on Tua either. So I can give him that too.
But he played mop-up time. So, and that was a healthy tour.
Yeah.
That was a healthy tour. I'm going to be honest. From the time Tua got injured, from that hip injury at Mississippi State, he was never the same. And he had that tightrope injury. He never, you know what I'm saying? He never was the same. So at this point, I look at it from a standpoint. What's up, man, Mike? And I look at it from this standpoint of, you know what? It's feasible at this point. The man has experience. Now, here's where your money is going to be made. What do you do with your offensive line in this draft? Do you give Bill Callahan the pieces to fix what we have going? Because that's a Hall of Fame offensive line coach, by the way. He's brought here to fix our pass protection. And everybody's in here saying, oh, he'll have better pass protection here than he had in Miami. No, it's just as bad. Because if he had better pass protection, Miami wouldn't have let him go.
Oh, we drafted the tackle.
That's all I'm saying.
Given.
Because
you drafted the tackle.
That man wouldn't have been throwing up Black Panther gang signs or whatnot if that offensive line was right.
Man, I just don't want to see nothing catastrophic happen on the field because of a missed block or a misread or something like that. And, you know, when it could be rectified and fixed in the offseason, you know, by it being two left-handed quarterbacks, not just Penix. We're talking about two or two. So you're going to have to get rid of this. You need a right tackle.
But here's the thing that people are killing me with. You know, I know they were like, oh, we should have kept they should have kept what's the kicker's name that we had? See, he's so irrelevant to me. I just
Zane Gonzalez.
Zane Gonzalez. Hey, that's now see, you know I'm good with names, but you know, if you wasn't relevant to me like that, I ain't gonna remember you. I'm sorry. I'll remember if I catch a flash, but we're getting ready to get rid of Zane Gonzalez for a proven veteran.
Oh, they already did.
I know. They signed Nick Folk to a 3-year deal. I'm sorry, a 2-year deal, excuse me. And for $9 million. And he's getting $5 million of that guaranteed. So when you look at that, okay, $5 million is guaranteed. He still got to earn the other $4.
Right. Nick Folk is perfect indoors, 26 for 26 the past 10 years.
And this is the other thing y'all not thinking about. He's kicked outdoors majority of his career. That is something that nobody talked about. And what do you hear me say all the time, Nando?
Hey, we got to find a kicker that can kick outside always. I've been saying all of the same thing with you. In inclement weather. And rain, windy, cold.
Oh, breaking news.
Breaking news.
For you.
Roll Tide is in the building.
We signed our backup quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa, a.k.a. the man who committed the crime in 2017 versus the Georgia Bulldogs in this exact stadium. And he's coming back to the scene of the crime. Listen, Tua done walked up out of the state of Georgia like OJ walked out of L.A. I'm sorry. And now y'all letting him back. And now y'all letting him back in here. No, we already know how much it was going to be. $1.3 million team minimum. Miami's still going to be covering the rest of that contract. Now, here's something else that no one talks about. Now, Kirk Cousins, if he gets picked up where he either makes more than $10 million from whatever franchise might bring him in, if they bring him in, that pretty much can solidify and pay for everything in that quarterback room.
Right.
His money alone. So, again, I'm looking at it like this. Tua is a stopgap quarterback. He's a left-handed quarterback. So that doesn't take away from the receivers because people don't understand that it's different catching the pass from a right-handed quarterback than it is from a left-handed quarterback. The ball comes out differently. Jerry Rice talked about it. John Taylor talked about it. I'm speaking on 49ers that played with Steve Young, who was a left-handed quarterback. And they talked about it because they played with Joe Montana for so long. You have to get used to that. So I'm looking at everything that we got going right now. I think Tua is just what it is. Stopgap quarterback. He's here. You know what? Got to get behind him. But the fan base got to get behind him. The organization got to get in front of him and get him some guys that are going to keep him from throwing gang signs when he get hit. That's what we got to do.
That's number one. And number two, why not risk $1.3 million? Low risk, high reward. What if he takes us to the playoffs? What if Penix doesn't even get in? What if? We don't know. We will see though. Mm-hmm. We don't know. He's hot in this stadium now. 2017, they brought him back to the magical place. We don't know, but we will find out though. I backed the logo on this one, and I just hope that we can build a roster to keep this man upright. Cause I don't like the injury situation. What I'm seeing with my former Roll Tide player, Why
couldn't he throw up them gang signs when we hit him in the damn national championship? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Kirby's supposed to have 3, not 2. He's supposed to be 2-0 versus Alabama in the national championship.
Hey, that was Nick Saban, man. That was that Nicky Magic.
Boy, look, man, we cursed it. Man, I'm cursed this. I can get away from that. Alabama and the University of Florida. You know what? I just want, Nando, this how I'm feeling. Just stop $2. Stop $2. I'm feeling like Fabo right now. Just get away from this.
Oh boy. Understandable, bro.
I'm not the only one. I know it's some Falcon fans hollering like Fabo right now.
Man, I just hope we can keep the kid upright, man. He's still young. We can only just kick the tires on it. See, we got $1.3 million low risk, high reward. We got to build an offensive line on the side of him, to keep him upright. And we got the perfect coach to build pass protection and with the offensive linemen. So let's go. I'm rolling with the logo on that one. So that means that this draft is going to be defensively. If we're going offensively in this free agency.
Very true. And the thing is, I'm looking at it from a standpoint of I'm not mad at that, but I understand the logistics of why it was done. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You right now, $1.3 million, I'll take that all day holding by 15, 20 mil. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I just look at it from a standpoint of I think the Falcons are I'll say limbo type. They're in a limbo type situation right now when it comes to how they have to recover from that last regime. It's not horrible because we actually got a good team, thank God. It's not like it was when Dan Quinn left and then Arthur Smith took over and then that foolishness happened and then Raheem walks into Arthur's mess. You at least had a team that was competent enough to be in ball games last year that were in close games. I Wallace, we already announced it. Appreciate you, my man. We already knew that was coming. When you hear the words, they are hard pursuing a quarterback, that means it's pretty much done. The numbers just got to get right. That's what that means. So, again, I'm not mad at him coming here. It's the fact that I'm nervous about his injury history.
There you go.
I said the same about Penix. I think Penix is a great quarterback. But here's the thing. How can these guys be great if you can't protect them? And both of these guys aren't built like a Tonka truck where they can take a ton of licks. You have to put them in a position. To make some stuff happen. What you think, Nando?
Man, I think you're absolutely spot on with this, man. They're a little slightly built than Michael Vick was when he was here. So these two lefties, man, I mean, we just need to, like I said, we got to draft a tackle. I do not trust Mr. McGarry over there on the right side with this situation, or draft a guard and you kick Bergeron out to right tackle or something, because that's his natural position coming out of Syracuse anyway. I mean, you know, and we got the right coach to do this, man. I mean, I just don't. We got to keep this kid upright, though. What's happening, Graybeard?
Hey, Graybeard, look, Graybeard trust Tua as much as he trusts that damn Norelco. Oh yeah, I'm on one today. I'm drinking sparkling water today, no liquor, truly sparkling water, and I'm talking trash today.
The hell, man.
Well, we just look, Graybeard, we just get the riffraff from Alabama and the riffraff from University of Florida, don't we?
It just never ended.
But you know what? I'll take him over Joe Flacco.
Not only the durability, man. I mean, we couldn't keep Michael Penix upright. Now we got to come out of that one concussion away from retiring.
And we don't know what the medical team has told him. That's the reason Miami has cut him loose. We don't know.
Well, they cut this man loose for almost $100 million.
99 to be exact.
Hey man, we the Atlanta Falcons, dog. What you expect?
This man probably at least got $8 million. Cause he's sitting on $100 million coming to him for the next 2 years.
Hey man, what the Miami Dolphins said? Oh, that I couldn't hear nothing you said, Graybeard. Hold on. Go ahead, man.
My bad. Hold on. I'm just gonna say I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, do we feel confident into it? No, I don't.
I do.
No.
We just gotta keep him upright.
I know what I said, Mike.
Wrap him up in vibranium.
Yeah, I mean the vibranium are gonna be need to be on their right side, and we got to drop the tackle great here.
Hey Glenn, it's just like you got man. Yeah, you got a lot going on back there. Let me go. Yeah, so Glenn, this all we gonna say. Miami looked at us like we fell off the cabbage truck, and this is just what we said. That's what they said about us. And then, and here's the sad part. Now we got a guy that can play. I'm not gonna lie. Tua can play if he's healthy. You get what I'm saying? That's not the problem. The problem is keeping it upright. That's the issue. Because we know he can throw the ball all over the yard. Because Graybeard, think about it. He cost us a national championship. We remember that very well.
Yeah, because he was healthy.
Exactly. Mike from Puerto Rico.
Keyword healthy. Yep, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Them pet machines, man. I understand why we made the move because, like I said, he's cheap. He's probably the cheapest quarterback on the market. You seen what Malik Willis just got from Miami.
Yes,
you already know Kyler Murray. You already know Kyler Murray gonna go under something like that.
And here's the thing. I get what you're saying, Orange Juice Jones, my guy, Mr. Standing in the Rain. You know, I know that's why he got that name or whatnot. He's holding hands, talking about Tua. He's holding hands.
He'll never be the same. You're gonna be walking in the rain.
Hey, my man say I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut, just like Orange Juice Joe say, man. But nah, shout out to my man OJ. But OJ, I'll say this: I'm not saying that Tua can't play. We're not saying that he's a bad quarterback. You didn't hear that come out of my mouth, Graybeard's mouth, or anybody. The thing that we question is taking another gamble on a quarterback that has an injury history, a recent injury history at that. I can't trust it. Listen,
definitely can't trust it.
I'm gonna tell you this here. I trust his injury report as much as I trust reading the story about them saying that Ronald Reagan and Reaganomics helped save the black community. That's how I look at his injury report. I look at it like I look at his injury history like damn Reaganomics. So at this point, it's just what it is. And for my 80s,
that's different.
For my 70s and 80s babies, you know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah, have to be more careful.
Got to be more careful with that one.
Ooh.
Hey, it's the truth. His injury history is just like Reaganomics, inconsistent. We know this. But when it's on, it's on. I got to give him that.
Yeah, but he's under a new coaching staff.
But here's the question. What pieces are we going to give Bill Callahan to help him stand upright, as well as when Penix comes back, keep Penix from getting those knees hurt? That's what I need to know. Which direction are we going to go in the draft?
I don't know.
That first pick going to be a tackle. The rest of it going to be defensive.
Hold up. We got somebody else up in here, man. We got Coach Terry McGriff in the building. BirdCage alum. Just got to give him a love.
Maybach music.
Hey, slide him up in here like a boss that he is. The Militech president right up in here. What's up, Coach?
I can't believe
much. I got my new company that I'm repping too. Exclusive Auto. Y'all need a car? Let us know. We can get it from you from the auction.
Gotcha.
Right
I like that.
Okay, I like that.
You know that's
right to your door.
You know that's
bump Carvana. You go to Carclusive.
Okay.
Hey, that's gonna cost you. That's gonna cost you 10% for that free advertisement.
Hey, you got it.
I didn't approve it.
You good? You know I'm good for it.
I'm just messing with you, man. Look, you know you good with
I'll
promoting on
text
him,
you
man.
the QR code if you want to put it up there.
But Coach McGriff, y'all let Trevor Etienne walk?
Hey man, it was totally up to him. We couldn't afford him. It was not that we wanted him, but we couldn't afford him. And then there was a rumor he wanted to go home to if it was going to be possible. So he got what he wanted. Everybody's good with him. There's no hatred for him. But man, I hope they put a good offensive line together for him. That's one of the things, because without no line, look at in 2024, he wasn't no good. You got to have a line around him. He's a great back. But what I want to talk about is another homecoming, Mr. Zacchaeus coming back to the house.
Man, Zacchaeus is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. That boy ain't no Georgia boy. He was brought to us, but he started as a Philly boy.
Yeah, but he coming back to Atlanta. He been there once before.
Matt Ryan trying to stash up the roster with all these damn Pennsylvania boys. That's what he doing. He bringing PA boys in here because most people don't even know this, but Jahan Dotson is from outside of Allentown. He was born in Jersey, but he grew up right outside of Allentown. So I don't mind that because see, I know anything that's around those areas, the Allentown area, outside of Pittsburgh, in Pittsburgh and Philly, minus our tight end, I know the toughness. I know the toughness that come out of there.
Well, they can't find one in Western Pennsylvania quarterbacks.
No, Gardner Minshew just went back to the Chiefs. Look, Arizona. He went to Arizona.
You know what? You hurt my feelings saying that because look at all the quarterbacks that have come out of Western Pennsylvania that are Hall of Famers. Dan Marino, Joe Montana, Jim Kelly, Johnny Unitas. You still George Blanda. Can't forget about him, the legend. I mean, it goes on. They've had great quarterbacks to come out of there, but they got 5 Hall of Fame quarterbacks to come out of that area.
One might be going to the Hall of Fame over there in Cincinnati too. No, he's an Ohio kid. My bad. He's not Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He's Ohio.
He ain't a PA kid.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though. I'm okay with you bringing in guys like that because I already said I don't mind cats from out around that Pittsburgh area because I know when you talk about Aliquippa, you talk about those areas, they tough. They pretty much bred, like, put it this way. They're built like we are down south. They're just in the mountains over in the Western PA area. And they take football like we do down south. Serious. Shut the whole town down, and it's just what it is. But again, a lot of people have kind of, a lot of the toughness has gone away because of the times. Technology's taking over the blue collar area because a lot of them dudes was blue collar back in the day. So it's a little different now. But so here's what I want to ask you guys. Now that we have another pass rusher that's supposed to be coming here, and we talked about him, How do you guys feel? How do you guys feel about Austin Hooper coming back as a tight end first? I'm gonna get onto the pass rusher, Mr. Thomas, but I want to talk a little bit about Austin Hooper coming back. He just was on the team, lost the Super Bowl, unfortunately, again. Yes, 2 Super Bowls he's been to and lost. Him and Tevin Coleman experienced that from that 2016 team, and he's coming back. What role do you think that he plays coming back to Atlanta at this point?
A veteran guy. I mean, a veteran guy that's been around, who's been on championship. I mean, coached the championship team, and with that depth, with the depth that at that tight end, I think the bank is also looking for stability too. Because even though we got Kyle Pitt, even though we got Kyle Pitt on the franchise tag, still up in the air on that prove it deal on what he's gonna do. You already know what you're gonna get from Austin Hooper. He's gonna block, he's gonna catch, and he's a red zone threat. So I mean, look what he did in New England. So I mean, he's just gonna carry the load. He did it when he went to the Titans. He did it when he went to the Browns. So there's some type of stability that you get from Austin Hooper. I mean, he's not going to be as athletic like he was when we drafted him, but there's a comfortability that he's going to have on that offense, in my opinion.
But they're going to use him, and here's the thing that's different between him and Kyle Pitts. He's an elite route runner for a big man. Nimble feet, good coming in and out of the breaks. Pitts is a guy that's going to eat the middle of the field up. Pause. He's going to pretty much be a big body that's going to shield off guys, and he's going to be your 50-50 ball guy. The guy that's going to be running those routes is going to be Hooper, because linebackers can't keep up with him, even and especially now that he's about 10 years in the game. You're talking about just moving back and forth. So
the other thing. Oh, my bad. The other thing I would say, this is the trend that's going around the league now. You look at all the more successful teams, they run a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets. It used to be the advantage of spreading people out. Now the advantage is putting big guys that are athletic together. You got 2 and 3 tight end sets where you can't now run your nickel and dime packages because they'll run you out of it. Well, now you can still pass out of that when you got 2 athletic tight ends, and that's really going to give Atlanta an advantage. And if you look at today's free agency and what's coming up the rest of the week, tight ends have been getting paid. I know the Jaguars re-signed one of their own tight ends. The Bucs re-signed one of their own tight ends. Everybody else that's the free agents is going to be getting money, because especially if they can do both. If you being just a pass receiving tight end is no longer the trend. You got to be able to block and catch that ball and get out there and be a help in the passing game. So I think him coming back there, and he knows the culture in the area, and with this new regime going in, I think it's going to fit in well. I think it's going to be good for him and the rest of that offense, especially now that, Tua likes to throw to the tight end and he'll be coming in. So it's going to be really interesting.
And Coach, this is the other thing that most people aren't talking about too. He knows the Cleveland offense because he played in it with Kevin Stefanski. So while Pitts is trying to learn this offense, you got somebody in here that knows the offense that already is going to add instant credibility to this offensive attack. He's going to bring a lot of stability to that room while Kyle Pitts learns this offense. Now, the other thing that we keep saying, and we have to keep the option on the table, because a lot of people don't understand, just because you get franchise tagged does not mean that you won't get traded. A lot of people aren't looking at the fact that, look, it's been rumored, and they said this last week, that Pitts, they're listening to people talk about him. Atlanta's listening. Not saying that they're gonna make a move, but again, if you get two first round picks, or even hell, a first round pick, maybe 2 second rounds, or even a second or a third to go with a first, you don't think Ian Cunningham's not gonna jump on that?
Oh, no, he's jumping on that.
I was going to say, Ryan, I was over listening to one of these other guys' podcast. I want to say it's Aaron Freeman, Locked On Sports. Not Tua. I meant to say Kyle Pitts actually takes a back seat when you have Drake London, the other Mooney. You had Mooney on the field. You had Bijan and all them on the field. He did not receive the ball at a high clip versus like he did when everybody was injured. So now that he got to learn a new offense, he got a tight end ahead of him that knows this offense. I think this finna blow this up so our boy Joshua Simon can get on this field, man. Pitts finna get traded as well. He better tighten his job strap up. He better come out here, get ready to play, cause Mr. Cunningham ain't playing. Everything's on the chocolate block. It's all about the logo at this point.
But a lot of
I'm gonna tell you three teams that you want to look out for on this. Denver Broncos #1, because you know they love throwing to the tight end, and what's the name they brought in? He just didn't fill that bill. And the Chargers, and also, even though they say he's coming back, Kansas City. You know what I mean? They always want, especially they want that move tight end that can get out there, get in, and find the middle of the spot of the field and make those plays and get downfield. So, you know, they'll probably get a good high draft pick. I wouldn't be surprised that they, especially, I wouldn't expect it no time soon, but right around come draft the end of next month, I wouldn't be surprised if he got moving, because there's rumors starting out there about guys like that, you know. So and with him being on that contract, it's still a prove it year, but those guys also will be willing to give him a new contract that's to be his liking. You know what I mean? So yeah, I agree with every one of y'all guys about him being moved. That's a big possibility.
But a lot of fans don't want to hear the truth when it comes to that, though. And Ian Cunningham already says that he loves picks. He already said that. And I'm gonna tell you up front. I've talked about many guys, but out of that could come into this team as probably maybe a 6th round pick. I know y'all gonna laugh when I say that, but he's one of those guys that can hurt you if you BS around. And he's a local kid out of pretty much from Savannah, played at Valdosta State, and then he ended up at Georgia State. 71 receptions, 71 receptions, averages 14.8 yards per catch. And then if you look at it, he has 6 touchdowns. And if you want to be honest, his player comparison is, you know what? I'm not even going to do that. What I'm going to do for y'all, I'm going to go ahead and play the short for y'all. Because I'm
hook him up, Ryan. Hook him up.
I'm going to hook y'all up with this here, because I've done enough talking when it comes to that, because most people aren't looking at some of these that are color schools that no one's talking about. So, you know, I gotta put my guy up here. We're gonna put up Mr. Ted Hurst. Fair use, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and make this thing happen for y'all. Another spotlight for you. We have Mr. Ted Hurst out of Georgia State University. Let's go ahead and dig in. Hey, when you look at this kid, you really see speed, you see hands, you see great length, you see great body control. He's one of these receivers that can stretch the field with 4.4 speed. He's about 6'2", 6'3", and around 190. We can get him a little bit more weight on his frame so he can actually get to a point to where he could be a little bit more dominant as a receiver. However, this guy definitely is a guy that could be a playmaker. You can get him in the lower rounds with the Atlanta Falcons coming up in this draft. If I got to compare him to somebody, I got to compare him to Devontae Adams. When you look at the speed, the hands, the movement, and the way that he controls himself when he's having contested catches as well. He's a local boy out of Savannah, Georgia kid, went to Valdosta State first, then transferred over to Georgia State University, and the rest is history. He's done his thing, 71 receptions, 1,004 yards with 6 touchdowns, averages 14 yards a catch. I think we could do a little something with him. So with that being said, that's just a little quick spotlight on Mr. Ted Hurst. If you got any questions, comments, and concerns, you know how we do it. Go ahead and drop it in the link. You know how we get down.
You either get right or you get left. Go.
I like that. That was good. Good analysis there, young coach. Good job.
Yeah, so I had to bring a little person in there to help me out with that, little birdcage mascot that we got.
You did a good job with it.
Hey, man. I made sure that I talked about how he transferred in from Valdosta State because he started there, but he finished at Georgia State. So had to make sure I shouted out Valdosta State, home of the Hammer, Jesse Tuggle, by the way. Gotta throw that out there. So this is another kid that's right in the city. That 6 foot, you talking 6'2", 6'3", 195 pounds, 4.4 speed, can go up and take contested catches. Outside of taking contested catches, can run every route on the route tree. They use him in the screen game as well. So all he needs is a couple of more biscuits and collard greens in the system. Needs a little bit more, and he actually would be in between 200 to 215. I think he would actually have grown man weight to help him dominate backs in the, and I think it wouldn't take away from his speed. But all I can say is I think that when we talk about receivers, if we don't get a receiver two at the beginning of the draft and we trade back, that is a gem that you want to get. That is a gem that you want to get, and you have trap farms right there in the city. Another guy that I spoke on was Chris Bell out of Louisville. Most people don't talk about him.
I like Chris Bell.
Most people don't talk about him. You talk about strong hands. You talk about being able to. I'll say this. Chris Bell is a cross in between Sterling Sharp and Julio Jones. If you don't know, physical like Sterling.
Wrong comparison.
If you look at the footage, you'll understand why.
No, I watched some game for Louisville because my uncle's a Louisville fan. But dang.
And the reason I say that is because if you watch how he runs those bang 8 routes, most people don't know what those are. Pretty much going inside. Guess what? Most guys don't want to hit him like most guys didn't want to hit Sterling Sharp back in the day. Now, the other person that I would bring to the table, it's a few people. I talked about Chris Mosley out of North Carolina Central. Bad running back. Runs behind his pads. Might not be the biggest thing, but strong as hell, quick, and it's just a few things, but he could be a running back 3 on this team, just to be honest. There's many running back 2s that you can get, and one of them guys is Curtis Allen, who I talk about all the time. So you talking about a guy that won the Harlan Hill Award that's pretty much equivalent to Heisman Trophy. So I'm just telling you right now, it's one of those things where you have to look in all places to get talent. Does not matter where it comes from.
Especially at the running back position, you can find that almost anywhere.
Exactly.
If I can care to pivot a little bit.
Yes, sir.
This free agency just getting started. What are you guys hearing about the Falcons on the offensive lineman that they might try to pick up in free agency? It's quite a bit. I just saw it on the NFL Network that the 49ers are open to trading Old Man Williams.
Yeah.
But how much?
Trent on the block.
What's that asking price?
Would you want? What's the asking price for that? That's the question.
I don't know what it is. They're just saying they're open to trading him, but I mean, you got people like Elijah Vera Tucker out there. You got Taylor Decker from the Lions out there. Linderbaum just signed with the Raiders. Rasheed Walker, that I liked him with the Packers. So it's quite a bit of guys. Jonah Williams, he wasn't no superstar because he out there in Arizona, but I watched him in a few games. He's been pretty good. And I think you can get him at a decent price. Some of these guys just want to get a new start out of those bad situations that they're in. And the one thing I know that the Falcons can really use is some help on that offensive line, even if they're swing guys. And that proved with the Jaguars. They picked up they brought in like 4 or 5 guys in last year's free agency, went through camp, and I think I forgot what his name, Fred Walker. He was with the Eagles. They signed him to a deal, and right after the end of camp, they traded him back to the Eagles, and they had a couple other guys that they traded or released. And you want to bring in as many guys as well as in the draft in there to let them fight it out, and then see who your best 7 or 8 gonna be, along with the guys you already got. Because that's the one thing. The key for me is don't let that running game drop off, but get better in the passing game with pass protection.
I was going to say, Coach, the 49ers didn't want to pay Trent Williams at $39 million this season, what they're going to owe him. That's the reason they try to get up out of that to get they probably a little bit cap struck, whatever for Nagel and what they try to do in their business. So Trent is still a little healthy, but he has had some issues the past 2 seasons. He still got tread on the tires. I with the asking price, that's the question.
If the asking price is right, he's a clear upgrade from anything on most of the rosters in the NFL. You know what I mean? That's one of the strongest human beings on the planet still.
And
yes, sir.
And he brings veteran leadership. That's the main thing that he brings. And he's not. Let's put it this way: if I had to classify him, rest in peace to the Reverend Jesse Jackson, that was on the nonviolent side with Dr. King. If I got to talk about Mr. Williams, he kind of falls into the category of a Huey P. Newton, as y'all see. I got the shirt on today. He falls into that category. He does not mind physical violence on another human being, as Brother Huey used to. So it's understand that that's who hit Richard Sherman in the face and did not care about paying the fine.
That man welcomed smoke in any direction.
Exactly. So if you have somebody that's violent like that on the offensive line, and you got a young Bergeron on that line, and you got young guys like a Jack Nelson who we're waiting on, let him teach these guys at this point.
I'm just telling you right now, in my opinion, where the position what the Falcons are in right now, potentially, especially Evans just left and went to the 49ers. They got a couple of young receivers, but the division is there to be had. And I mean, and when you get the division and get a couple of home games, the Falcons got the talent to make it deep into the playoffs, if not make it to the Super Bowl, especially with that young defense. They get them a couple of pieces and some more experience. You get that offense to be as good as that defense. There's no limit on what the Falcons can do, and I really believe that because I mean, you name the talent when you talk about their stars. You can't find 10 players that's better than them at the wide receiver with Drake London. You can't find 10 guys better than him. There's some guys that's equal to him, and then if you got good quarterback play, you got a top 3 running back. You know what I mean? You really got what it takes to make it deep. If you can get guys in there that can give them some time to do what they do. And Trent Williams, he might be worth that would be the one I would say if I'm going to splurge on them, get that extra scoop of ice cream on that cone, he's going to be the one I do it for.
Shout out to D. Alford. He's gone to the Buffalo Bills. Bills got him for 20. He's worth up to $21 million with 10, pretty much with 10.12 million guaranteed. And he's going to be there for 3 years. So in other words, he's really going to get probably $7.5, $8 million plus incentives. That's how that contract is going to be worked out. Hey man, go get your money. The man played in Canada. He did his thing there. He was solid with us. But the guy that I'm kind of pissed about us bringing back is Natron Brooks. But I understand why they did it because the Falcons were not getting ready to pay D. Alford that type money. Wasn't going to happen. So it sucks. But as I said earlier at the beginning of the show, business is business. The Falcons are looking at trying to have money stashed away because Ian Cunningham likes to get players in the middle of the season. That's something else that you got to pay attention to. And he learned that from Howie Roseman and also from the great Ozzie Newsome. That man was a unicorn of a tight end. That's how you play tight end with him. But he also was a hell of a general manager too. So when you look at it, the man, Ian Cunningham, was groomed. Let him work. Some stuff might piss you off. It's okay. It's okay to be upset. But here's the thing. Would you rather have somebody that's willing to shake up the establishment, stuff that we've been asking for, demanding for years, or do you want another person that's just gonna kiss ass and tap dance in front of the camera? I'm sorry. I got to call a spade a spade.
Call that spade, Ryan. I'm trying to get championship depth built around here. And that's what Ian's gonna do. That's the way the outs works. The way he's looking, the way it's looking from the outside. He ain't even really got started in the draft yet. I see him walking with at least 8, 9 picks. We're not gonna end with 5.
Exactly. And that's what
how
people
you
don't
do it. That's
understand.
how you do it. You gotta raise the floor, not necessarily the ceiling. Raise the floor because 17-week season, you're gonna have attrition. You're gonna need guys to be able to play in now. Go to days is you got one guy, he play every snap of every season. Them days is over. Them days is over. You gotta have quality depth, and I don't look at them as depth players anymore. Hey, that's a stud on the shelf because you need him to come in, and he coming in fresh against them guys that already beat up, and that's how you get these guys making this money when they're like, well, where did he come from? Oh, he played good. He played good during the middle of the season when they needed him. Like I'm gonna tell you who capitalized on that right now. Look at Malik Willis.
The Packers were
He
not
the poster child from being depth to making you some money.
That man went from Tennessee to now starting quarterback with Miami Dolphins.
Yeah,
Hey, man,
the
shout out
Buster
to my
Brown,
man,
Buster
Jay.
Brown for the Jaguars was a backup. When your boy went down, he got more time, and they had to re-sign him. When our little rookie went down, so
Yep.
you got to have raise the ceiling on your franchise. I mean, raise the floor of your franchise. If you got a high floor, that means you got a lot of guys that can come in and play. Give me a whole bunch. Give me 45 guys with mid-range talent, then 12 guys with awesome talent, and the rest of them bums. I'm sorry, because they get hurt. You done. You done. Even what they did right here with the quarterback position, I think that's a very bright move. You got two guys that's beat up. So guess what? If they can both play equally, you really don't lose nothing. And goes back to my saying why you really need to get the offensive line fixed, because you got two doggone rich crackers back there, because they ain't gonna take long to break them up.
He called the quarterbacks. Wow. Are we spreading peanut butter on those two? Or are we spreading?
But you need to have some. No, you need to put more honey, something thicker that can absorb that punishment.
I'm just saying. Coach
need some honey on molasses.
Coach
can't take the peanut butter.
Listen, Coach McGrill said he said we got two rich crackers at quarterback. In other words, folks, he's saying that we got snacks back there that get broken up easily. Because if you eat rich crackers, you know how they're flaky and they're good, but they break up real easy. So that's the analogy. So I'm making sure I clarify that real quick, because I know some people.
I said it
on the last part.
But I said it. And
man,
shout out if you can protect them. If you can protect them,
be made out of titanium.
Shout out to my guy JD.
If I was quarterbacking them, half my pass plays would be match protect. I ain't lying. They can get what they get. You just don't get them with.
Huh?
You ain't got no choice.
So shout out to my guy JD2127, one of my Coast Guard brethren that's in the chat. Appreciate you for stopping through, man. Shout out to Carlos, everybody that's up in here. Hey, we're not done yet. We still got another 30 minutes of this. Like, today is just one of them days. Well, I know, Glenn, you got to get back to work. But
I'm getting ready to go home.
Hey, man. Glenn, what you say? You got to the money, now you about to get on. But guess what? Speaking of getting to the money, man, we're going to take a commercial break. Y'all sit back and relax, man. We got you covered. Let's get to it. Tax season is the toughest time of year for some. Don't let individual taxes, business taxes, and audits keep you down. If you're looking to save time and make the most out of tax season, check out Upscale Professional Taxes. Free quotes, rapid returns, individual and business taxes filed. Also, cash advances up to $7,000. Simple, secure, professional. Call now to get the maximum refund you deserve. Also, you can receive up to $100 for each referral to Upscale Professional Tax Services. For more information, contact Tax Specialist Cinque Mentor at 404-993-0642. Your refund awaits, so don't hesitate. Call now. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know how we get down. We got to also...
Yes, man. That rice was good.
We also got to get some folks or whatnot out here to talk a little bit about this year's tax term. We got quite better enough to Black Wall Street that does taxes. Please support his business if you're in the Atlanta area. If you're not in the area, the phone number is still there. You can still contact him, and he still can do work with you online. So please, 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 let's get to it. Oh, Lord. Look what the hell the cat drug in here. He got 3 cats in the building. Let's go. That's
up?
what I'm
What's up?
talking about. What's happening?
What's up, fella? I was busy moving around the city. I didn't even realize I had did a pop up. I said, let me jump in and get some thoughts on some of the moves the Falcons are making. What's up, though, everybody?
Man, we already done talked about the obvious with them quarterbacks. You know that already came out.
Coach I've seen that. But I think I believe we're making some very key depth moves. I don't see any bad moves. I see decent moves. I don't see any great moves, but I like the moves that they're making. I don't say I love them, but I like the moves that they've made. Even the Tua signing, because it's only a 1-year deal. You're not paying a lot for him. Hopefully, he can stay healthy and start the season. And after us going after the 2 wide receivers that we went after, I really believe we go after the offensive and defensive lines in that second round. Either one that's the best available. If it's an offensive lineman, I think we take, or if it's a defensive lineman, I think we take in that second round to bolster that offensive line. Because Jake Matthews, I don't know why he continues to keep high. I don't hear his name enough. I need him off the Falcons roster and to improve that tackle position also. But that's just my opinion.
K-Dub, I got a good scenario. I want to hear y'all opinion. I don't want to get rid of him. I just like to move him inside and then get Mr. Williams over from San Francisco.
I like that too. I like getting Trent Williams.
Move him inside. Like you take a cornerback and make him a safety. I think he'll be a hell of a guard. He moves people on the offensive line. He just can't pass protect like he used to.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. See, K-Dub, this will happen when we bring coaches in here. See, he already smart. Thinking about that. I'm gonna be real. I didn't even think about you moving him in because of Bergeron. But again, what are we gonna do about that right side? Because again, that's the side that we're worried about right now. Because you got 2 left-handed quarterbacks on this team, and we got to figure that right side out.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why you can take Bergeron and put him on the right side.
Right. That's what I was thinking too, Coach. You get him, put Bergeron on the right side.
You kill 2 birds with 1 stone right there. You ain't even got to go outside of the organization. You just bring one guy in, move him over, and then now that helps with that. Because a good guard always helps the tackle play better, especially on the right-hand side.
And also, Bergeron did play center at Syracuse, so if we got to move Nizel too, just to keep all the big monsters out there on the floor, we could. That's an option also.
And Bill cut.
I like that man though, moving him inside to maybe the center position versus the tackle. Because just because he played tackle in college, don't mean he can play it at the NFL level. Not saying he can't, but we've seen him be able to get kicked inside to guard and be a pretty efficient and serviceable guard in the NFL. But
here's the precedent on that. Look at the old Washington Redskins. They would always draft these pretty decent tackles and move them inside the guard. Take some decent guards and make them centers.
Oh, so you went back to the Hogs, sir.
Yes, sir. He went back to them Hogs.
So you look at that. The 49ers of the 80s and early 90s did the same thing. They were deep. They were pretty good. They were pretty decent tackles, but made excellent guards. Because now they don't have to worry about all that space. You know what I mean? They ain't got to worry about guys with extra moves. They got to come to them. They ain't got to worry about they got 2 things on either side. They got protection on either side. I like to have athletic guards, and if you could take a guy that plays tackle and make him a guard, as long as he's physical enough, and I know Matthews is that, then you got a winning product on that. Look, the Jaguars did a whole bunch of that this year. You know what I mean? And it's never failed. It has never failed.
But Coach, you went back to when you said the Hogs, you brought back a flashback for me, because when you look at it, the one thing that they were able to do, and it gave John Riggins a second career, which people don't understand. When you have a monstrous offensive line that's like that, when you talk about the Hogs blocking against some of the greatest defenses of all time in the 80s, the Giants that had Lawrence Taylor and those boys, you had pretty much the Chicago Bears, you had the 49ers that they went up against and beat in the 83 NFC Championship game. And you look at the Vikings back in the day in the 80s, people don't give them enough credit. They was a tough team. I mean, And then you still got to talk about Dallas. You know, as much as we hate the Cowboys, they were still in the playoffs in the 80s. They might have not been there that they were in the 70s, but they were still competitive. And for those who don't know who the Hogs are, you got your Mark May, Jeff Bostic, Russ Grimm. You got excuse me. I mean, it's so many. R.C. Thielman, who played for the Falcons, went to Washington and became a Hog and won a Super Bowl. And we had R.C. Thielman on that 1980 team in the late 70s. So again, when you talk about that, we have Bill Callahan on this staff. That is the closest thing we will get to a Joe Bugle. And if you don't know who Joe Bugle is, he's definitely one of the greatest offensive line coaches, right next to Howard Mudd. And then I'll throw Bill Callahan right up under those guys.
Right.
But honestly, I think that we got some stuff that we really got to work on. And when you talk about fixing some stuff, one of the things that they put a Band-Aid on was this edge. Nobody's talking about the fact that we ended up bringing in Kid Cleveland or not today on a 1-year prove-it deal. And he's out of San Diego State. We're talking about Mr. Thomas. So when you look at Cameron Thomas, I'm gonna pull up the footage for you guys so you can see it. I don't want to just run my mouth on it. I want you guys to actually see it if you don't know anything about him. He was on the other side of the man who got the record this year, and he definitely cleaned up a lot of stuff and did a lot of dirty work. So you're bringing him in. It takes a lot of pressure off of James Pierce Jr. So this is pretty much what we have in Mr. Cameron Thomas. Coming off the edge, going after Lamar Jackson, number 99. Pretty much gets through with a bull rush, dips under, comes through, and runs right through Lamar Jackson, makes the play. If you ever pay attention to it, the one thing that he is actively going down the line, has violent hands, has his head up, as you can see, crashes down, takes on Ole's a blocker to make a play, as you can see. So when you look at him, he's very handsy, has a high football IQ, very smart, and very physical at the point of attack. He gets downhill with bad intentions when he has a chance to. And as you can see, he runs that with power. Pretty much pushes the tackle into the pocket, which collapses. So here you go, coming on this side. That's a big 300-pounder that he just shoved in there. So last clip I'm showing and K-Dub and also Nando's. And here's a better view of it right here. 1, 2, 3, and gets through. Now, when you see Cameron Thomas, fellas, what is it that you like about him, and what is it that you think that he could bring to this Atlanta team when we talk about coming off the edge and he's going to have to replace the production of JPJ at this point?
I see a motor. I like the relentlessness that what he got going. I mean, you know it. I see he got great hands. He's using his hands. I see the strength, and I like the motor. So, I mean, you know, it might not be what we just had with JPJ, but at the same time, I look forward to it as being an adequate but good, serviceable replacement for that type of player.
What I see is just like I say, another guy that's to replace the production that we lost. I mean, I just see another guy that can be a poor man JPJ while he's, I don't know, man. We more stuff I'm reading, that stuff I read today, it ain't looking too good. So, but like you said, I don't want to reiterate the same things Nando is saying, but I just see the explosion to get off and to get there and want to get to the quarterback. But that's what you need to have to be a top flight pass rusher. So hopefully this one year prove deal can further into another contract with the Falcons. And I like the familiarity he has with at least the head coach and some of the people from the coaching staff that came from Cleveland. So he has some type of continuity with the coaches. So I think we'll just see what he has to offer for the Falcons. But I do like his burst, get off, and drive and ability to bend and get to the quarterback. So, but that's what you're supposed to have to play at the defensive end position at the NFL. So if you don't have that, I'd have been a little scared. So I just
is he a done deal coming to the Falcons?
Yeah, he's coming to the Falcons. He started
nobody
his
can sign to
career.
Wednesday, so we got to see everybody ink dry.
Yeah,
Oh no,
yeah,
they already
yeah.
got him. K Dub, they already got him or whatnot.
They
It's on
are,
a
yeah,
1-year deal. They are
yeah.
signed.
He bagged in, K Dub. He already
Yeah, he
bagged
bagged
in.
in.
I think what
I thought they said they
what
couldn't sign anything to Wednesday. A lot of these deals.
They can't. But they can agree on the
Oh,
contract.
they
Yeah,
can
Yeah, that's
agree
what I'm
on
saying.
this.
That's what I'm trying to get. I
Yeah,
think they've agreed to a deal with him. Yes, that's
Yeah.
official.
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's what
Here-
K
here-
Dub was talking about. They can't finalize until Wednesday.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Everything, because anything can happen. I mean, you could say this, that, and the third. It ain't nothing been signed. They can back out of these deals. So anything can happen.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, they ain't backing out because if you back out now, you're gonna put red flags for everybody else. That
Yeah, I got you. I got
you
you.
playing one
Not a
thing
good,
against.
not a
Yeah,
good look. Not a good look.
yeah.
No, I ain't saying they would, but I mean it's a possibility. That's all.
I'm K
The
Dub.
one thing I would say about his acquisition, sometimes when a guy goes to a different situation and he ain't in somebody else's shadow, he comes in as a veteran. He can really spread his wings and become the player that everybody hoped that he could be. So let's hope for that because I think like y'all everybody said, his talent is obvious. Now he don't have to play down underneath somebody else, with the politics on these different rosters and make, well, I can't do more than Mr. 95 over there or they gonna, it's gonna be some stuff, I get sat down. Sometimes it's like that. So, they obviously know what he can do, being he was in the same building before. So I look forward to good things from the young man.
But here's the thing: a lot of people forget that's the same situation that happened with Michael Turner when he was in San Diego before they moved to LA. Michael Turner was in the shadows of Damian Tomlinson and also Darren Sproles. He was her guy. He came playing. He was already a veteran, and we saw what he brought to the table. So again, he's already played outside of Cleveland. He started his career in Arizona with the Cardinals. So he was on a solid defense when he first started his career. So working is a problem because he's actually a very good player. But like Coach was saying, he's been overshadowed because of number 95 on the other side. So now you come into a situation where you really don't have anybody that is the man in Atlanta because the guy that was supposed to be the man in Atlanta right now is taking care of legal business. That's all I'll say. So at the end of the day, you're bringing in a guy that has experience, that understands how to be physical because he came from a good defense and now he's coming to another defense that plays the same style of aggressive football that he was playing in Cleveland. So I'm good with the guy that we brought in, and we got him on a 1-year prove it deal. So if he does do well on this prove it deal, we got a bookend. We'll have a solid bookend with him. Now,
I will tell you this right now. If that happens and he plays to above what they think he is, he won't. He'll have a new contract by the end of December.
I agree with that. But here's the other thing: what he brings to the table, he's getting ready to help Jalen Walker out with now. If they use Jalen at the edge still, but I got a feeling that they're going to turn Jalen into more of an outside linebacker because now Ellis is gone, and Bertrand might be the next one that might be gone. So
Ellis,
again,
where did Ellis go?
Ellis is
No, they're saying they're gonna let him test the free agent market.
Oh,
in other words, somebody's getting ready to pay him, Graybeard. We're not gonna pay him that type of money. I guarantee you that.
What about Leonard Floyd?
Where's the Falcons picking in the draft?
Second round.
In the second round.
Okay.
And
I was just thinking there's some lot of good linebackers coming out of the draft, so they may not have to move them. They can find as possible replacement.
Very true.
Yeah.
That could also happen. I'll say this. I think there's a kid right now that I'm talking about. His name is Rashad Battle. Plays at Pittsburgh. He's an Atlanta native, by the way. If you don't know, you better know about him. Very solid. He's 6'3", 195 pounds. A guy that comes up and he brings the boom when he hits folks at that corner spot, and he's fundamentally sound. Atlanta has already had pretty much 2 meetings with this dude. So, in other words, ladies and gentlemen, let's put it this way. He led the Pittsburgh Panthers with 5 breakups in 2025. And he also is going to be attending Pitt's Pro Day on the 26th. Atlanta likes this guy. And they originally spoke with Battle at the American Bowl. And they're going to host a local pro day. So when you look at his record of 2025, he had 42 tackles, 28 solos, leading the team with 5 pass breakups, a sack, and a fumble recovery. Battle is a Creekside guy, by the way. Make sure I put some respect on the South Side. He's a Creekside boy. So if you know anything about anybody that comes out of that school as a defensive back, Eric Berry, hint, them boys love to hit. So you got one that's there. The last Pitt Panther I know that's from Atlanta, Georgia, helped the 49ers win a couple of Super Bowls. Got in the air right. So again, if we gonna sit back and talk about it, it's I don't have a problem with anything coming out of Pitt in that secondary.
Well, I'm just gonna. I don't know if y'all watching TV. I'm gonna give y'all a little update. I don't know if Pitts is going to Kansas City now. Kelsey signed a 1-year, $12 million agreement that goes up to 15. So that might not be in the cards. But by the way, there's 2 names that's just kind of sticking out that ain't signed today. Trey Hendrickson.
Let me correct myself. Hold up, Coach. Let me correct myself. I'm sorry. Wasn't Eric Wright? Excuse me. It was Carlton Williams. Let me make sure I put that out there. It was Carlton Williams from Atlanta. I always mix their names up because Williamson started at corner and then played safety and was versatile. This kid does the same thing. So I apologize for messing that up. Ladies and gentlemen, forgive me on that. Got my names mixed up. But go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, what's really standing out today for non-news is no Trey Hendrickson's being signed anywhere, and Devin Lloyd ain't went nowhere. That's making me like, what's going on?
They want too much money.
They
want too much money.
Troy Hendrickson.
Not saying they bring productive players, but you got to be able to negotiate, and you know what I'm saying, and get a deal done, man. And your agents are asking for too much, or your people.
The reason why Hendrick wanted to get out of Connecticut, they weren't gonna pay him. That man want max money.
Yeah, but he getting a little old in the tooth for max money. He's not Max Crosby. He over 30.
Now,
and that's what they tell him, Coach McGrill.
Jump on him yet. Yeah, I'm surprised the Raiders, because they already don't trade it freaking Max Crosby to Baltimore. I'm surprised they haven't tried to test the water with him yet. Might be some negotiations we don't know about.
You talking about the Raiders and him?
Yeah, because they already traded Max Crosby.
I believe he just having a you gonna learn today type of day, and I mean he'll sign, but he gonna have to drop his asking price. Him and his agent, his team's gonna have to negotiate, talk to each other, and you
know. I think both of those guys that we talked about, if I was them right now, I wouldn't even sign with anybody unless it's something that I really want, and it's got to be with the right team. And because you ain't got to, you can wait till the beginning of the season, and everybody gonna be fighting for them then, because somebody gonna go down. They're gonna find out they ain't do what they needed to do in the draft. I will wait till after the draft before I even sign with anybody at this point, unless they're giving me way over my ass.
Cowboys signing, Coach. I got the Dallas Cowboys signing them. Just to be honest.
They just picked up they just picked up your boy from Green Bay.
Oh, Quay Walker.
Quay Walker?
No, not Quay.
No.
Defensive tackle.
Gary. They traded for they got Gary for next to nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got Gary for next to nothing. Rashawn Gary. Yeah, they got him.
They just got a steal. That was a steal.
Right. And
Rashawn Gary, all right now.
That was fellas. That was highway robbery without a gun. That's what that was.
Yeah.
You know they also freed up like $40 million in cap pay.
Hey, Coach, you know what's funny? A lot of people think, and I got to throw a historical fact in here today. It was something I was thinking about today, fellas. A lot of people talk about the great train robbery that Dallas had, and they all say they had never seen nothing like that. Let's be honest. That wasn't the first time that happened. There was a player that they traded a whole bunch of stuff for at one point. A gentleman by the name of Mr. Ollie Matson, who used to play for the Cardinals back in the day. They traded 9 players or whatnot just to acquire his services.
Why?
Just saying, the Rams gave up 9 players just to acquire that man's services. So when you look at it, there are teams that are dumb enough to do that. There are teams that are dumb enough to rid of somebody to try to make something happen. So, and also they gave up 2 draft picks as well as 9 players to get that dude.
11 people.
Yes.
It's a lot of just like I think Coleman Griffin was saying something earlier.
Look up.
It's a lot of offensive linemen out here still available. I don't think we're done yet. I think we're gonna snatch up at least one of these guys.
Yeah,
gotta let them cook.
Yeah, I can keep one coming here.
Yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't let him slip fast in this free agency. I'm saying at least one of these offensive line.
I think even though Ian want to collect them pick, I think they want to lock in a Drake London deal this year. I don't think they're gonna play around.
Of course.
Because then they got to turn around and pay Bijan next, followed by Bergeron. Because they're not gonna play around.
But that's not. But that ain't the reason. Alec Pierce just got banked with the Colts.
Yes,
so they gonna try to get. They getting ready to try to lock him up because Pierce just got top dollar in the league. He just got top dollar. No, like he was a free agent. He was testing the market, and the Colts said we not letting him walk. So he pretty much get top dollar today. You can look that up. They already talked about it. So at this point, locking up Drake right now is the smartest thing that we could do.
Yeah, I would just extend Drake and kind of kick that can down the road. Then I can address that later. But I want Drake in the fold. You see, this man is up here on the dang wall here. See what I'm saying? We want Drake in the fold. So get that deal, get that extension done, and then you can work on some of these other contracts. Though.
I'll be honest with you. So what's going on, Dan Mans? I don't think we had one that was too expensive today, in my opinion. I think that they actually balanced that out pretty well. But when you sit back and you look at everything, it's one of those things that you have to say right now they're actually wagering these players that are coming in. Some are on prove it deals, and then you get some with two years. And they're pretty much just trying to keep the cupboard full. So when we have to replace in certain positions, we don't have to worry about it. So they're kind of cherry picking right now. I don't think we've overspent. I think we've spent well when it comes to what we have. But yeah, we haven't had anything that's going to sit there and make us say, God dang, we just overspent.
Yeah, we doing.
Do you still think
he's very strategic? No, I'm just saying. I wanted to piggyback off of what historian was saying. I'm just saying we're very strategic with those moves that we made. Ian Cunningham, you could tell he's been around some smart and level heads, the places he's been, because he's making not ill-advised moves, but well rationed and well thought out moves. He's not just taking the big splash of names and handing out big contracts. He's taking more strategic moves and building depth, which we need to do. That's really what this team is. We got a lot of headlining stars. We need that filler depth guys, like those sneaky special team signings that we had today. So, you just gotta, what I'm saying, you gotta look at every signing that we have, and it helps build this team in the places that we need to be built that we neglected with the previous regime. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, my bad, Kato. No,
go ahead.
Because I don't think we did this motion in the first week of free agency in a minute. It's been a while. And I think Ian Cunningham is looking at this roster and trying to keep what are our strengths and what are our weaknesses, and whatever. And depth was always going to be the number one weakness with the team. We didn't have playoff depth. We didn't have depth when we needed, and the guys that we did have didn't step up when necessary. So I do like the aggressiveness of Ian Cunningham, and I don't know how much Matt Ryan got with the precedent of football, but he just letting Ian and everybody else cook. But I do like the aggressiveness we're doing in the first day. I like the activity.
Well, all I can say is at this point, we just got to let these folks get what they need to get at this point, make these moves, and let's just see how it shakes out at this point. There's a lot of people right now still in their feelings about Tua coming here. And it's like, look, and let's
Just
look.
like with
I gotta throw
Eminem,
this.
Marcus Mariota.
I mean,
Let me
Low risk,
I
high
mean,
reward with
hold
Tua.
up, hold up.
you gotta think about it.
Let me finish this point. So what I'm saying is $1.3 million for a 1-year deal.
That ain't
That
nothing.
means that's really nothing at this point. So when you talk about the $1.3 million or whatnot, you, no matter how many I said it earlier, and I'm gonna say it again for those who are just coming in. No matter how many contracts we restructure, no matter how many cuts or anything that we make, we would only have about $43 million that we would be able to use when it comes to trying to make a splash free agent. $43 million is not much when you talk about bringing in a player. Next year is going to be the year that we do it. Terry Fontenot set us back. We'll have 7 picks next year, and we will have over $100 million. So again, if we're going to talk about making moves, ladies and gentlemen, next year is going to be the move. Right now, this is where they're just going to bring guys in on prove-it deals, and they're going to just try to really win this bad division we're in and really just get to the playoffs so these guys can get a taste of it, and they want to have a different taste of what life is in the postseason now at this point instead of having a 9-year drought. Go ahead, fellas.
No, I agree with you. I mean, you hit it right on the head. I don't think we're not gonna make the effective move that everybody wants this year because we don't have the cap space. So we just pretty much gonna get it on prove-it deal. I mean, like I didn't like the kind of tour, but I understand the move. The man, he's the cheapest free agent quarterback on the market, behind freaking Gardner Minshew. So we got this man for less than $1.3 million. So we just see how that goes.
No, not less than. We got him at $1.3 million.
That's perfect. That's perfect for us. We're not trying to waste money. We're trying to get every bang for our buck right now, at least until next season. So I mean, I like the move with that. It make cap wise. That's what I'm trying to get at. And then we added a veteran wide receiver in Dotson. We added a veteran tight end that knows the system in Austin Hooper. And then the kid. And there's some moves that we can like about day one of the agent with the free agency, but just like y'all said at the beginning, we just gotta let the front office cook.
Zacchaeus is a guy, and I say this: Zacchaeus is not a starting receiver. Zacchaeus is a role guy that's gonna come in. He's gonna play special teams. He'll have a moment or two where he has a catch or two during the season. Guy is pretty much 2 or number 3 is going to be Jahan Dotson. That's going to be your 2 or 3. If he's not the 2, he's going to end up being the 3 and being the slot receiver. Telling you that now. David Sills isn't going to be that guy this year in that slot. I'm letting you know that now.
Still on the team? He's still on the team?
I don't know, Graybeard, but I'm just saying if he is, because we've made moves, if he is, he won't get any time over Jahan Dotson. You're talking about a former first-round pick who is quick as a hiccup, guy that can catch the football. The only issue is he's pretty much like getting a used car. He was banged up a little bit, and in Washington, he was with Scary Terry, and they were a hell of a 1-2 punch. He goes to Philly, becomes another player to add on with Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, and he helps them get a ring. So, again, you're bringing a guy that has played in multiple playoff games during his career in Washington and also in Philly, and also has a Super Bowl ring at this point. So you're bringing a guy that has championship pedigree coming into this Falcons wide receiver room where he can look at Drake and say, yeah, you the man here, but I got something you don't have. I know what it takes to get here. Just what it was. He can't.
Honorable mention, family, for us not winning the division. Mike Evans has signed with San Francisco, so AJ Terrell ain't got that booger in his nose no more.
Yeah, he will. If we make the playoff, yeah, he will.
Yeah, you gonna still see him somehow.
You still gonna see him. He ain't away from him.
He ain't gone.
He didn't lead the NFC now, but yeah, I really feel like that's the most sneakiest and most the best sign we had today was what Mr. Historian was expounding upon is Dotson. When I seen that, I was like, oh, that's the move of the day. We've been needing a 2 for forever, and I think that's the guy. I didn't have that guy circled with who's that's gonna be our 2, but when I seen the signing, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the signing. So
because remember we mentioned him when we said he was in a free agency show. I was on the show with Smitty, where we merged and we did a pretty much a collaboration, and we talked about Jahad Dotson, and that was
Okay.
Smitty's guy.
I missed
Yes.
that episode. Good job, Smitty. I didn't know you broke that down.
Smitty called that one.
Yeah, Smitty hit that on the head.
He called
Okay,
him.
good job, Smitty.
I called for Alec Pierce, and the problem was Pierce wanted money, but they were saying who's the best available and who would make what. I said, well, with Ian Cunningham, you never know. That's why I was saying that. So
Yeah.
I took Pierce. Dotson was taken by Smitty, and I forget who did Chris take. It'll come back to me. If you don't know, just check out that episode. But shout out to my guys, A1 and then Smitty, doing the damn thing over there, doing their thing. A1 forever. He does all sports. So does Smitty on Smitty Sports Machine. Y'all check those guys out or whatnot. They have a lot of pop-up shows and a lot of shorts. But I'll say this, and we gonna get ready and wrap this pop-up show up because we've been on for an hour and a half, like I was saying. Here's the other thing that we're gonna do. We're gonna have some draft shows coming up too. We're gonna and see. We already have been putting out players from the BirdCage or whatnot onto the channel or whatnot, and just kind of marketing guys that most people aren't looking at. So I got somebody for you. I'm gonna bring it up. This is gonna be before we leave. Got to talk a little bit about Chris Bell, because I think if we were to draft him, I think he could be a number 2 for us, in my opinion. I got my HBCU guys, but I got my guy coming from a Power 4. So fair use. This is a little something that we have right now on Chris Bell. Please enjoy this. Sit back, relax, and we got you covered.
Before you do that, because I know you got to end the show.
Oh, I'm not ending the show just yet. I'm letting them play this right here real quick. I'm actually showing them. So I got you, Coach. Give me a sec. What's going on? It's your boy, the historian. You either get right or you get left. Today's player spotlight is going to be on Chris Bell that's coming into the draft. We definitely have a guy that kind of reminds you a little bit of Julio Jones, but he's coming out of Louisville, limited with the route tree. But the best thing about this guy, he finds the ball, great speed, great hands, runs through contact. He makes circus catches look something normal. Just to be honest, if we're going to talk about that. When you look at him, he could be an X receiver at the NFL, could also play a little wide. But the one thing that he has to also understand is learning offensive schemes and systems. Hell of a blocker, a guy that definitely is tough. The only knock on him right now, I would say, is coming back off of that ACL injury. Was solid coming into this year, but let's be honest, he's a guy that by no means is somebody that you would pass on. He's Mississippi tough, where he's from, out of Yazoo, same city that produced great players such as legendary cornerback Willie Brown, rest in peace. But when you look at this kid, he fits what Atlanta does, definitely has Julio Jones-esque vibes when you talk about the way that he plays. And honestly, a lot of defensive backs would not want to fight with this kid. The only thing he has to learn now is get better at the route tree at the NFL level. Now, I'll say this. One of the toughest things that I'll say about him when he runs the bang 8 routes, other than that, slant routes for those who don't know, he reminds you a little bit of a Sterling Sharp. Tough when he gets that ball, and most guys don't want to hit him. That right there can also help extend Atlanta's situation when it comes to getting first downs, touchdowns, and so many other things that he brings to the table. And definitely when you look at the fact that this guy uses his upper body as positioning effectively to box out defenders for contested catches, that right there shows you a lot of what he does. So I think he would be a good pickup for the Falcons. He definitely can pay dividends. Tap in with us on Thursday at 8. You know how we get down.
You either get right or you get left. Ghost.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Had to make sure that we put that out here for you guys. That's Chris Bell. So before we let these guys go, What do y'all think about? What do you guys think about Chris Bell?
He's a quality receiver, but we got a lot of quality receivers in this draft. I mean, like I said, we model the saying of look up every stone unturned. He's a great person to put on our board, but have a multitude of receivers that we're looking at to add to that third or fourth receiver, or maybe possibly fifth receiver that we may bring on. So I just say, man, you need all kinds of receivers to spread this ball around. So I think you need to look at all schools, but I do like his tape. I do like the breakdown that you had of.
Coach?
I totally agree with, just concur with what he's saying. Obviously, he's got a pretty good resume there. His body, he fits the body type that they're looking for, but he didn't get the spotlight. Obviously, he was overshadowed this season because of the talents of other people playing that position. But guys like that, if he comes in hungry, he's going to be a very good ad for somebody.
Graybeard?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of Chris Bell. Like I said, my uncle is a huge Louisville Cardinals fan, and yeah, he can ball, man. He can ball, man. He got great speed. He got great strength. But like you said, like his route running is somewhat limited at times and whatever. And he sometimes, oftentimes, he got a hard time picking up games. But you put him in the right system and with the right coaching staff, man, he can be productive. And I don't know if we're going to try to go that route, but he's one of my sleepers in the draft, along with a few other wide receivers I watching the combine. So yeah, keep an eye on the kid.
Nando?
Hey, that guy right there. I mean, I just hate the cat got injured, man. He would have showed out in this season for them guys. He would have showed out cause I think I caught a game or two last season when he was healthy. He took over. So I mean, I see the ability. Exactly. So the ability is there. He just comes in and just need to learn the NFL route tree. He'll be okay. That's all I see. What's wrong with it? I just hate the cat got injured.
The problem is this. When you talk about the route tree, it wasn't the fact that he can't run it. The type of offense that they were running at Louisville limited him actually having that experience in the route tree. Let me make sure I make that clear. Because as I said it in the video, and I'm going to say it again. He just has to get experience of running the other routes in ball games. It's not that he don't know how to run them. And again, I'm good with any kid that come out of Mississippi because I can tell you right now, a lot of tough boys that come up out of that state, and it's a slept-on state when it comes to talent. A lot of Hall of Famers out of that state too, by the way. But so, Coach, what do you have for us? Because I know you were trying to get something off before we shut it down. What's up?
Oh, what I was going to say is, first of all, let's not forget a low-key significant signing for this organization. Nick Folk was signed today. And with the kicking goals the Falcons had, that is a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, we spoke on that earlier, right?
I brought that up.
We spoke on that earlier.
All the special team signing was very key.
Yeah.
That guy Nick Folk, coach, he's 26 for 26 the past 10 years indoors. And he's also can kick outdoors. He's an outdoor kicker that's perfect indoors.
Yeah.
And I said,
and Falcon fans should be very happy today because the floor of the roster was raised through free agency. Now you can go back and see what you need. Still, free agency ain't over with. In the draft, some of the things that we can really pin, pound, and style. Now we can focus on these. This is what we need to fill these voids that we want to build our roster with. And I just want to make sure everybody don't focus always on day one and day two picks. Well, the roster is made is day three. You get you some studs in there, like this kid. He might fall to day three in that talent. I'll give you an example. Look at what the Jaguars did. I hate to bring them up, but when they with our kid, what was his name? The little short guy. He came in, made us big time out of that slot position, and he's a day three pick. You get some good day three picks. Hey, don't forget what's crazy Mr. Brown over there with the Steelers and stuff like that. These day three picks can really really make your roster something special. So day 3 is as important to me as day 1 or 2, because you're only getting 2 or 3 guys depending on how many picks you got on those days. Your day 3 raise the floor of this roster. In this division, you can run it. That's what all the Bucks did. They ain't really bringing no great guys. You know, they raised the floor of the roster with their day 3 picks. And if the Falcons do that, they'll be running this division for the next 5 to 6 years. Because the Bucks are teetering right now. They're there to be had.
Yeah, trade down in the 3rd or and the 4th. Just trade down and gather picks in the 3rd and the 4th.
I see 7 to 8 picks coming from this draft by Ian. We're gonna raise this floor.
I already see what Ian Cunningham's gonna do. And here's my thing. And lastly, I'm gonna shut it down because we'll keep going. I'm gonna shut this damn thing down because y'all gonna keep going. I gotta stop it.
We at 145.
Yeah, we at 145.
Yeah,
now.
we're at 145, right?
So I'm gonna say this here. Please, and I'm gonna do some footage and I'll do a video for him. Look out for the name Jordan Smith out of South Carolina State. The kid is 5'11", talk about 185, 190, and he plays like a young Steve Smith. I want you to go look at it. If you watch the Celebration Bowl, watch how he took over that game. He can take it on the end around. He can pretty much throw the football if he needs to. But again, very twitchy, very quick in short space, and it's physical when you talk about that. Yes, and we do promote HBCU players on here, ladies and gentlemen. So we will have an HBCU breakdown and show. Not many other people do it except us. I'm just gonna be real, out of all the Falcon content creators. But if you see them talking about it, you know where they got it from first. So I got to throw that out there. Now, we're gonna have an HBCU show in probably about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, because we got Miss Lynn Jones coming into the cage on the perch. On the 19th of this month, by the way. That's the young lady who had the press conference after the Jacksonville Jaguars game that encouraged her coach after the season that they had. They lost in the playoffs to Buffalo. So we have Miss Lynn Jones, the reporter, coming to the building, and is going to talk about not only that moment, but other moments that she's had in her career as a reporter and running one of the oldest black newspapers in the country. So y'all don't want to miss that. But this week, it's going to be strictly Falcon football, man. We're getting back to it. So for myself, the magnificent BirdCage crew, want to thank Coach McGriff for coming in the building. Nando coming into the building, man. Appreciate you guys. And Thursday night, I'm going to be back in here with these guys and everyone else. You know how we get down, as we say. You either get right or you get left. We're going to catch you next time in the BirdCage. Thanks for tapping into the Pop In Show. Ghost.